Dynex is a disruptive company that wants to bring supercomputing to everyone. And with me is technology expert, also blockchain pioneer Clifford Mapp. So welcome, great to have you here. So explain what that means exactly. What are you trying to do?
Sure. So Dynex runs a neuromorphic network for, shall we make it a little bit easier? A neuromorphic network is patterned on a human brain. So much in the way that your neurons and electrons fire, Dynex can do something similar by using logical gates to pass that information no matter which way it determines it. It can run at quantum level efficiency, which is super, super rare in anyone's case to do it on existing equipment. Normally you would need expensive, we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars worth of investment just to build one unit. But Dynex's network is big enough to handle multiple clients all at the same time simultaneously.
Okay, interesting and very technical. So can you explain to me or give me an application or an example of how this would work?
Sure, absolutely. The best example would be our new virtual wind tunnel for automotive industry. So on average, a wind tunnel will set you back 150, 200 million in just building it. Then you've got maintenance costs, staffing costs, expertise that you need there to run it, and the costs just spiral expensively. I recently spoke to a few automotives and they spend a lot of money in CFD, or computational fluid dynamics. What that is how air or liquid interacts with an object, and that takes a lot of processing power. Well, what we found was Dynex can do what we dubbed QCFD, or quantum computational fluid dynamics. And what we found is that it will give that efficiency and make it a real lot cheaper when it comes to the end user. So if an automotive car company that's maybe smaller, that can't afford a wind tunnel, now has access to that service to use, and the costs will be very, very reasonable compared to renting a physical wind tunnel. So it's a really interesting project at the moment.
So they can kind of outsource you to get this answer with all of this data that you're computing, and you can help them further their business that way.
Yeah, absolutely. So the way that the Dynex network works is that you send in a job through the Dynex marketplace. That's recently just opened. That has a whole ecosystem wrapped inside of it. So it's a three-step process. When you first sign up, you're then authorized to use it. You download your credentials to use it, and then you run your code. It's as simple as that. The idea is that we're trying to make supercomputing available to everyone, not just the select few. It's supposed to be for everyone, whether it be an independent working on a project by himself, to a small to mid-sized company, to even a global 2000 company. Like, you're talking, it really doesn't matter which direction it bends, we're available for everyone. And that's the whole idea. And if you've just got an idea, that's even better, because we now got inside of the marketplace Dynex experts, and these will effectively help you create your code. If you don't code but you have a fantastic idea, now you have a place to effectively have it built for you.
Interesting. What are the advantages, like in terms of speed, accuracy, return on investment?
Yep.
Okay, explain that.
So the overall speed or efficiency is at quantum-based levels now, which basically in a nutshell means that instead of having to go and buy this really expensive supercomputer and chill it to negative figures and have all the expertise of the people who know how to build these, and there's not many of people with the technical expertise to build these things, Dynex eliminates all of that. You can run quantum-based algorithms on Dynex with the same efficiency.
So say I'm a business owner.
Yep.
Watching the show right now, I think this looks interesting. What would be my next step?
Well, that's a very good question. The next step would be to register with Dynex's marketplace. and follow the 3-step guide. Basically, when you first sign in, it will walk you through a step-by-step guide on how to get yourself up and running. Once you've got yourself up and running, it is really just a case of adapting your code to run on Dynex. And there is so many examples of people that have already done that and are willing to help. Their community is fantastic. They've got a massive community of people who are just interested in the project. You've got people that are the experts, the people that will code for you, and then you've got the actual Dynex staff in that community, and everyone tries to aim to help everyone else.
So that was my question. Do I have to be a programmer or an expert in this to be able to work with it?
Not
So
at
you
all.
take care of all of that.
If you really want Dynex to take care of it all, then those experts are vetted and checked to make sure their credentials match before they're even given the expert access. So the idea with that is that you know when you come to us that that expert knows what they're talking about. It's not just, oh, they've signed up for the service as an expert, they've actually had to go through a process of becoming an expert.
And what about cost?
Well, cost is a really interesting one because obviously it scales depending on how hard you use the service. But for example, we know that running what we dub transfer learning, and that's basically, think of it like a human brain. You learn during the day and it goes into your frontal lobes and into your short-term memory, and then at night you sleep and that gets transferred into long-term memory. Well, we do that synthetically now with our service, and that takes anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes and costs no more than $8 a run. So it's the barrier to entry for even a small person or a company wanting to use this is very affordable. And again, we come back to the supercomputing for everyone. That truly is our motto, is supercomputing for everyone, to allow that cost barrier to be as low as possible, because we know that when you get started in a business, you can't afford $10,000 a run or $25,000 a run. You need something affordable that scales with you. So as you scale and need more compute, then obviously your costs would increase. But fundamentally, if you program it really efficiently, your costs would be very, very low.
Now you mentioned the wind tunnel. Would there be other industries where this would be applicable?
Yeah, I mean, we've already looked into a few other sectors. Medical is one of them because we've got a quantum-based image recognition system that can be trained in order to identify things like cancer, genetic problems in your makeup. It could be used to do blood work. It could be used for even things like pharmaceutical, medical applications, like what would happen if you took this medicine and waited 10 years? Well, normally those sort of test runs would have to wait for the 10 years. But what if you could simulate it and actually take 10 years but simulate it in 10 minutes? Would you be able to know a drug's safe or not safe to use, or do you need to change it because there's too many side effects, shall we say? So it's a really interesting thing. There's so many different industries, and financial is another one that people have looked into. Predictive models and so forth for potentially the stock exchange. It really can be used in whichever way you can genuinely think about it.
Okay, absolutely fascinating. Thank you so much, Clifford, for coming in and giving us at least an overview
Absolutely,
of Dynex.
I love it.
Thanks.